Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. It is time to do a makeup inventory. I haven't done one of these since last July, and that's like kind of typical for me now. I usually do these once a year because my collection doesn't like fluctuate so much that it needs to be done more than that at this point for me. I don't really consider myself on a no buy like as a label. I just don't buy makeup often unless it's like a replacement kind of thing. It's always good to kind of just check in with anything, whether it's makeup, your clothes, whatever it is. So I love doing this for that reason. I was even low-key wondering if I should even do it because these are a lot of work. Believe it or not, if you know someone who did an inventory, give them a hug. I don't know if I'm just getting older, but like I'm like losing my breath when I'm like doing these inventory videos. I don't know if I'm just like the counting of the products, the putting the picture. Anyway, okay, I'm getting off track. Let's get into the numbers before I start going down some other road that I don't want to go on right now. All right, I'm gonna start with the more minimal categories, eyebrow products. I went from 3 last year and I'm down to 1 now. I got there through panning, and I'm really happy to just have 1 brow product. That's all I ever wanted. The Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade in chocolate brown is the last one that I have, and I will just use that till it's done. And that has lasted me for years and years and years. It'll probably last me another 10 years. We're fine with this category. Cool. Eye primer, I had 2 last year and now I'm down to 1. So I'm thrilled that I finally used up that glitter primer from NYX. It's just a purely practical type of thing. I 1 in, 1 out. I use the Ulta one now, really like it. Gonna use that one till it's done and then repurchase it when it's done. Face primer, I had 1 last year. It was the Wet n Wild Impossible primer and I finished it up and I don't have any primers now right now for my face. I'm down to 0. And I really haven't missed that step too much. I wouldn't be against getting one maybe in the future, but honestly, for me, I feel like a moisturizer kind of does the job. I don't really feel like having an extra product right now like that. But I really like that primer. So I don't know, maybe one day I'll repurchase that if I'm in the mood for like something pore filling. But I feel like I've been okay without it. So I'm okay with this. I'm happy to have 1 less item to inventory. So right now we're at a 0 and I'm cool with that. Concealers. This is also another 1 in, 1 out category for me. So last year, I think I had the Incognito also by Wet n Wild, that concealer. That was a repurchase for a while. Since then, I've used an Ulta concealer and right now I'm on a Winky Looks concealer. So not a problem category again. This is very minimal. I try to stick to 1 concealer at a time. So that's really it. And another category I don't have concerns with. Next, we're gonna do foundation. Last year I had 2 foundations and now we're up to 3. So the e.l.f. Halo Glow, I'm about halfway done that. And I don't consider that a foundation. I just mix it with foundations to add more glow. So I just put that in this category because I didn't want to make a new one. So I have 3. So the L'Oreal True Match is always a repurchase. And I've added in the L'Oreal Serum Foundation, I think it's called. I forget the exact name. So that is labeled as a tinted serum and I use it as a foundation. So I like that for this time of the year. I thought it was worth it to try. Last year I did not have a foundation that was darker. I kind of just used bronzer with my lighter foundation. Wanted to do a different path this year. Especially since I bought this mineral sunscreen, which leaves this like annoying white cast. That kind of made me want to buy something a little bit, darker in tone for the summer. Very happy with this number. I'm not very experimental with too many foundations really. Like I kind of stick with the L'Oreal drugstore situation because it works and I know it. And I'll venture probably to different brands if I feel like I want to do that. But right now I'm happy with the 3 that I have. I don't want to go any higher than this. Foundations usually range from 1 to 3 products for me. So I'm within range. So we're good. And yeah, let's move on to the next thing. Let's do setting spray. So 2 last year, now I'm like 2.5 because I bought a travel Urban Decay spray because we went to Florida and I don't know. I could have probably just bought like one of those like travel spray bottles and like emptied out the other one. I didn't do that. I don't know. I don't have a lot of the big bottle left of that. So I will probably just finish that and move on to the baby mini and keep that because I don't really use like that hardcore setting spray often at all. So I don't see the need to buy a full bottle, so it works out. The ColourPop one's more of like a hydrating mist to melt makeup together, as opposed to like a hardcore heavy duty setting spray. So I like having that. I've been using that pretty regularly. Again, not a category I like to experiment with at all. I just have what I have, and we're gonna use these, and then whatever happens next happens next. But I do like to have setting sprays, like one that's like more hydrating, one that's more yeah, hardcore. So we're good here. I do hope to pan the bigger Urban Decay one and just have the baby tiny ones. Setting powder. So I had 4 last year and now we're down to 3. So I used up one, which is very exciting, the Lorac one, and that was a great powder. I really, really liked it, but I don't need that many setting powders. So I was happy to finish that up. And as you can see, there's also the palette there. That palette has been there forever, and that has 2 setting powders, but I don't really use those too much, so I was kind of hesitant if I should include it, but because I have it, I will. And then I just have the current one that I'm using now, which is the Tatcha setting powder, which I really, really like too. So yeah, we're up to 3. Again, I don't buy setting powders like that, not experimental, so not a problem. I'm happy with that Tatcha one that I use, and the other 2 in the palette, I'm kind of not sure what I'm gonna do with that. Like, am I gonna use them as setting powders, count them next time? I don't know, because again, like I said, I don't really use those 2, but they're just there. So I don't know, maybe I'll use it because they are there and just put that in a project or something so we can just like stop counting it towards the powder category. But yeah, happy with this category. When I run out of the Tatcha one, we'll see what I get next because I have no idea. For mascara, last year I had 1 and now I'm up to 2. I'm still sticking with the e.l.f. Lash and Roll Mascara line. Last year I had, I think, just the black one, and I think I used that up. I repurchased the black one and then I added on the brown version. So I like having both. The brown one I bought just to have something a little bit less like harsh, I guess. Not even harsh, just like, you know, more natural for every day. I mean, I can use both every day. It's not a big deal, but I just like to have that choice. But I really like this mascara for the price point, and I'm just comfortable with it. I think it does what I need it to do. So again, mascara is not really a problem category for me. I don't want to have more than 2. 1 might be fine as well. Like, I don't know, but having 2 isn't bothering me. So I like using both, and I don't use mascara every single time I do my makeup. It just depends. Like today I'm wearing it, it's very natural looking, but I don't wear it every day. Like that used to be like a faithful step in my makeup routine, and I totally understand why it is. So I just found that interesting that I've cut out some steps, like even with things that I used to consider like mandatory in my makeup routine, like I don't always do it. So I don't know if I need to, but I like having to. So we're okay there. And I really like the e.l.f. ones, like I said. I also like L'Oreal mascaras too. Those are really, really nice. Eyeliner, last year I had 5. I'm now down to 3. So 2 of them I use it up organically. I like these eyeliners. I have Prunella by MAC. That's the one all the way on the right. In the middle is the Avon like navy color. It's really, really old. And then I have the e.l.f. liquid liner in black. Love all of these, they're fine. Right now I'm just working on getting through these. I really like forcing it, just using them when I use them. A lot of times I do use eyeshadow as eyeliner as well. You know, so we'll just see how this evolves and what I get through this year. But I really do like these 3. I don't really buy eyeliner too much though. That's again another category. I'm not like running out to replace the 2 colors I used up this year. Like, wouldn't be really mad though at getting an Urban Decay eyeliner in like a dark brown or something like that either. Like I like MAC eyeliners, but again, not really looking to do that. If I am okay with how things are, maybe I won't even get another eyeliner. I don't know, but yeah, so far so good. I'm thrilled that it's down to 3. I remember when this number was really, really big, and I had all these colors and they were a lot of fun too, but yeah, we've dwindled it down to this. Highlighter, I had 7 last year and I still have 7, but you might even say I have 8 if you include like this body highlighter that I have, which I can use as a face highlighter, so I'll leave that up to you. So this category is just gonna be one of those dead weight categories that I don't always want to be dead weight. What I mean is I don't really use highlighter that often, and certainly not enough to pan an entire highlighter. Like these pans are huge, but some achievements this year were that I hit pan on the one Tarte highlighter. It's like the round one, the small one. I forget what that's called again, but yeah, I hit pan on that, so that was great. Jaclyn Hill Champagne Pop highlighter from Becca, like that one I've been using pretty consistently too, so there is usage on that. Physicians Formula One, there's a little bit of damage on that because I tried to mix that with something to kind of make a body highlighter. It didn't really work out too well. Iconic Lights and Contour Palette by Revolution. That palette at the top does have 2 highlighters there, so I have to count those. I just show the whole palette because I don't know how else to show it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say about this. I don't really want to declutter any of them, but I don't want this many at the same time, but I also like them and use them, so like I said, a dead weight category. Don't really love that I have 7. I would probably be great with 2, but it is what it is right now. Maybe I'll work on trying to finish like the MAC one that's really, really old. I don't know. But anyway, not a great number. It's kind of just stale at 7. Bronzers, I had 9 last year and I'm still at 9. Same exact 9. I am working on trying to finish the Marc Jacobs Tantastic bronzer, the travel one. I got more pan on the Hoola one. That's super old. And yeah, honestly, I've just been really working on the Marc Jacobs one this year. Yes, the Iconic Lights palette has 4 bronzers there that are really a little too dark for me, some of them, and I don't know how to, I mean, I don't know, I play with them still, but I'm not sure what to do about this palette. But I've been saying that for years, like, should I declutter this? Should I keep it? And then I'll pull it out and it's fine. So that just always is going to be there. And still here in 2025, and it'll probably be there in 2026. So yeah, this is fine by me. Again, not a category that keeps me up at night. I do like these. I'm not buying anymore. I know for sure the Marc Jacobs one will probably be gone by next July. It better be. I can't imagine it still being here, but yeah, the hope is that this is down by 1 next year. And ideally, I probably only need like 2 bronzers, to be for real, like 2 or 3. Like that would be my goal number if I had to have a goal. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, we're not that close to that goal, but we're not in the teens either, so that's a plus. Why don't we go over to blush now? So blush, I had 16 last year and now I'm down to 15. I did declutter the Wet n Wild blush. It was really nice, but it was really old and I just was starting to not want to reach for it as much because the packaging, like having to unscrew it to put it on, is kind of annoying. I know that's not like a big deal, but to me it was starting to get like, you know, if I have that versus something that's easier to use and not as big a deal and not as old, I'm going to go for the other thing. So got rid of that. I am working to pan the Tarte blush. The little blush container it was in broke, so I had to, you know, rehome it into the Shiseido Compact. So that looks a little bit different, but yeah, it's down by 1. I'm thinking that'll be down another 1 by next year. That's my prediction. This number was really bothering me, you know, last year. I remember saying that, and it doesn't bother me as much anymore. Do I want 15 blushes? No, I don't. I think for me, my ideal range would be like 3 to 5. So we have some work to do, but again, I'm not mad at it. I enjoy all of these, and if I don't, like, you know, I will get rid of it. I don't have the heart to declutter any of these yet. So we'll see how the year rolls out though. But yeah, we're at 15. So at least the numbers are trending down a little bit. We're getting some usage there. And yeah, we're going to keep going with this. And this is, again, one of the categories that is a little too high for me. That does bother me a little bit, but not as much as I used to. But I did hit pan in another blush, so that's super exciting. And yeah, continuing to get usage on all of them. But having an extra pan is always exciting. I hit that recently in the Tarte blush. So shout that out, even though the numbers are still the same. I like that I'm still using them and seeing good progress on them. We'll move on to lip products. Yeah, I do include lip liners in my lipstick collection because that's really how I use them. I had 19 last year, and if I had done this inventory a little bit sooner, this would have gone down to 16 because I used up, I think, 3 lipstick products. So that would have been cool, but then I didn't make the inventory. So we're back up to 19 because I did repurchase some nude colors or some lip neutralizing shades that I just didn't have anymore in a lipstick format. So the number is still the same. It is 19, is back up to that. So it was 19 last year and it is 19 this year, but it did go down a little bit in between those two. So yeah, still the same number as last year. There are colors there that I don't use regularly at all. Like the bright pink ones, I have to mix with other colors. I'm going to see how this fall goes and see if I wear those really dark pigmented colors or if I wear them at all because they are really, really old. So it might not be the worst idea to get rid of some of them, especially if I don't wear my lipstick like that. The really pigmented dark colors I don't really use by themselves anymore. It's just not how I've done it the past couple of years. I tend to maybe deepen my lip colors a little bit, but not to the extent where I'm like able to pan a whole ass lipstick. Okay, I'm just saying that. So I could probably bring this down, but I'm not sure again if I'm gonna do that or just kind of keep hoarding them, because 19 is pretty high. It is pretty high for how I like to use things. If you're curious, the 3 lipsticks I purchased were MAC Creme de Nude, MAC Hug Me, and MAC Yash. So all great purchases. Love all 3 of those lipsticks. I'm set with lipsticks for a long time. I've been using them a little bit here and there and I enjoy them. But yeah, I don't need 19 lipsticks or lip products. And we're gonna look at the other colors that are a little bit deeper and see or like the really pink ones. And a lot of them are old. So stay tuned to see what happens to this category and if I put them in projects and stuff. We'll see. Lip gloss, oils, lip balms, I kind of put them all together in one category. I don't know if I should have done that, but I did. Last year I had 8, now it's up to 11. So for lip gloss / lip oil, I have 6 total of those now. Last year I had 4, so that went up by 2. And then for lip balm, I had 4 last year and that went up by 5. So I now have 11 across the board of those things. Lip gloss, lip oils, the ones that aren't pigmented, I usually use them like every day. So I use them before I go to bed to kind of moisturize, like as a lip mask, whatever, and as a topper. So I go through them in a timely manner. It did go up a little bit higher than I wanted because on Amazon, that's where I get my lip oils from. They sell them in packs of 3, and for me that's more economical to get the pack of 3 instead of just buying one at a time, because I do go through them and I know I'm going to use them. So to me it's fine, and they're sealed, they're put away, so it's not like they're like, and I'm not a huge stickler for expiration when it comes to some things, and they've kept up just fine, so I'm okay with like buying them in bulk. I wouldn't buy that in a pack of 5 ever, but like 3, I mean, I might have that for 3 years, but I'm using them regularly, so I'm okay with that. Once I have what I need, I'm not going out looking for more, so I will be using them all before I buy any more. So that's just fine for me, even if this number did creep up a little bit. So it's fine. And the lip balm, same thing. Yeah, my SPF lip balms, which I only really use in the summer, same thing. It came in a pack of 3. I'm not really crazy about this Rubber Duck brand, but Rubber Ducky, whatever it's called. It's not my favorite, but I can use it. And then lip oil, I bought the Say one this year. That I bought because I wanted something for the Florida theme parks, like the Disney World thing, and I didn't want to bring any of my lipstick with me because I was afraid they were going to melt. So I thought that was a good one to get. Didn't really need that, I don't think. I probably could have gotten away without buying that, but I feel like that just goes so quickly too. Like those lip oils, man, like I'm already halfway down that lip gloss tube, so I'm okay with having bought that. I like trying something different and new, and it's fine. So even though this crept up by 3, I'm not really worried about it. I know I'm gonna use everything. So face palettes, I already mentioned this already in the video a couple times, but yeah, I still have the Iconic Lights one. It's the same one. I think I hit pan on another product in there since last time, so that's a win. And that's just gonna be lingering until I make some choices on that, which I probably should, because I've been saying that every inventory for like the past few years. I'm like, not really sure what I'm doing with that palette. But I use it, but then I haven't been because I'm focusing on the other bronzers, so that's just in there. One face palette last year, the same exact one this year, so nothing has changed besides getting that extra little pan in there. Eyeshadow. Okay, so this isn't as exciting of a update for this, but I have the same 5 eyeshadow palettes as I had last year, and the past few years I've only really ever had 5. So that is never a category that I worry about or try to pan a whole palette or anything, but I have been making good progress on the ones I've had. Yeah, I tend to use palettes more than my singles, so I've been getting decent use on them, and I've hit pan on a couple more shadows. Like I think I hit pan on 1 more shadow or 2 more since last year or something like that. So yeah, the usage is there. The usage is there. I just haven't done anything about like getting rid of any of the palettes because I think I'm pretty happy with these. I don't really use the colorful Take Me Back to Brazil palette by BH Cosmetics. I don't really use that too often, but it has come in handy like around Halloween or like if I'm trying to do something really out of pocket, which isn't very often. So yep, that's still at 5. Eyeshadow singles, that came down by 1. I haven't really been working on panning any shadows, and I clearly haven't decluttered many at all. I just got rid of 1 this year. So I might want to revisit that and see, you know, if I can declutter more, because I'm not really big on like, let's finish an entire pan of eyeshadow. Unless I'm actually close to that, then sure. But I'm not forcing myself to do that anymore. So decluttering is where we're at if we're trying to decrease stuff. And I feel like there's a lot of colors I'm not into anymore. So I could see a declutter happening like slowly throughout the year. So as long as this number comes down and doesn't like go up, which it doesn't, because I don't buy eyeshadow singles anymore. Nail polish, this has come down a bit. Last year I had 60 nail polishes, and that does include like my base coat and top coats. This year I'm down to 46 nail polishes and 3 like base coat, top coat situations. So the number came down. So I'm down like 12 nail polishes from last year, which is great. I mean, this is the direction I assumed it was going to go, because I am organically going through my collection. Like as I do my nails, I see what colors I like on me, how they're performing. And because a lot of them are older, like really, really old, a lot of them are going to be off and just not work anymore. And a lot of colors I just don't like on myself these days. Like, I don't know. I don't paint my nails as much in the summer. Some of these colors I don't prefer in myself, which was never a thing back in the day. Like I never thought about if like a color looked good in me or not. I just like wore them, which is fine too. I mean, you don't have to go by the color theory thing at all, but like, yeah, there's just colors these days that I like better. So if I don't like a color on me, it's probably going to get decluttered, especially if it's really old too. Like, no need to keep everything. So yeah, it's interesting to see nail polish usage over the years. Like I will always paint my toes in the summer, and maybe like in the winter, fall, like that's when I'll whip out or have a more consistent nail thing going on. But I just go with the flow. Like in the summer, if I want to paint my nails, I will, but I haven't painted them in a while. So I'm just going to adjust my nail polish category accordingly. Like, so this is plenty though. This is plenty. I have a lot of like dupable colors in there, and it's just, yeah, it's going to be a slow declutter, but you know, decluttered nonetheless, I'm sure. So by next year, I'm assuming this will probably go down again as I kind of continue to try different nail polishes in my collection again and see where things are. So we're okay there. All right, so my last category is going to be perfume. Yeah, and I'm throwing this perfume category into my makeup category, even though it's not what I used to do, just because I don't think I'm making the other type of video again, the beauty inventory video. I'm not sure yet. So I'm just going to include it in here so it's somewhere. And I do see this kind of like as a makeup product too. I didn't do a beauty inventory last year. Like this is the stuff that's not makeup, right? So I didn't do that video last year. The last time I did one of those was 2023. So let's take a little journey back to 23. So last time I did an inventory in 23 with perfumes on a video, I had 6 perfumes and 3 body sprays. Last year I had 5 perfumes and 2 body sprays, so everything had come down. So yeah, both categories came down there. And then this year, so now I have 4 fragrances, so that the full bottle ones came down by 1. I have 3 body sprays, so that went up by 1 from last year. And then now I have 8 samples. I didn't have any samples last year, so that's a new category. The perfume journey has been a journey. Like, I know myself a lot better now with perfume. Back in the day, I used to have like tons of bottles, and the truth is I don't finish them. I don't finish full bottles of perfume because I get tired of the fragrance after half the bottle is gone, like maybe even before that. So now for me, the smarter choice is to buy samples and smaller sizes. I can have variety and finish them. So that for me is the secret to perfume. I still have some bottles from a long time ago that are halfway done-ish, and I don't know how or when those will see completion. I don't know if I'm going to keep them until they complete or just end up decluttering them. I don't know yet because they are older, and I don't think they're necessarily things I would wear today, like if I had to go out and buy them. But they're there and I don't not like them. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how this changes. Yeah, the samples I bought, the Ellis Brooklyn, because I didn't have solid perfumes for spring and summer. I used them all up or decluttered the ones I had because I didn't like them anymore. So yeah, it was a category that I just felt like there was a hole there. So I did have the body sprays, but I wanted something a little bit more citrusy, a little bit more, you know, substantial in terms of like fragrance. So I'm really happy with those Ellis Brooklyn samples. I really enjoy all those fragrances. I can see myself using them all. So I think that was a great purchase on my part. But I think I'm set with perfumes and body sprays for a while. Like, I don't know if I'm going to get a winter fragrance or not because the ones here are older. But I also want to pan those. So if I add another one in, you're just not going to pan them as quickly. And I kind of want to pan them because I do like them. So even though they're not like the most updated fragrances in my collection, I'm okay with using them more. Now let's talk whole collection numbers. So last year, my entire collection, and I didn't include perfume last year, and I'm probably not going to include that number this year, but last year I had 186 makeup products approximately. This year, again, not including the perfumes, I didn't bother counting that. My makeup is now down to 171. So that's really cool that the numbers have gone down. Of course, some categories might have fluctuated a little bit higher, but a lot of them went lower, so it all kind of worked out. So that's exciting. I think that my collection is in a much better place than where it was years ago. I by no means have the most minimal collection in some categories. In some categories, absolutely. In some categories, not at all. But that's been the case for a few years now, and I'm kind of just taking a very organic approach to it. Sometimes a little bit more intentional about trying to like declutter or finish things. And I do think I'm going to use my projects, you know, intentionally to get these numbers down as much as I can, but it is what it is. Like, I don't like forcing myself to use makeup that I don't really want to use, but I can understand rotating your collection because you want to use them if they're there. So that's a good point too. I'm on the fence if I want to do a beauty inventory video of non-makeup products. If you want to see something like that, I'll try to make that at some point, maybe in August, but then I start work up in August. I don't know how that's going to look, but yeah. Let me know if you want to see a beauty inventory. I'll be more than happy to try to do that a little bit later. So thank you again for watching. Yeah, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.